Reaching retirement age doesn't mean an end to retirement planning. In fact, that's when you face your most important question. Can you afford to retire? Making the retirement decision requires careful planning. Living in retirement requires careful and continuous management of your savings. Otherwise, your golden years could turn into grim years. That's a lesson that Winston and Bess Crabb learned the hard way.
You got to plan early, and you've got to stay with it. And if you don't, your retirement's not going to be real sweet. You know, you'll burn up all your money pretty quick.
After more than 40 years of work, Winston Crabb retired at age 65. He had a small monthly pension from an old union job, plus $120,000 in 401k savings. But the Crabbs cashed in their savings in 2003 after the stock market had dropped dramatically.
We were expecting, what were we expecting, 100?
I was expecting 120.
120.
Usable.
And we ended up with 65.
Yeah, I said.
And because they didn't roll their savings over into another tax-deferred account, they had to pay taxes.
And that took a lot of it out. And we actually ended up with, what was it, 46?
46 actually in the bank.
46 out of $125,000.
120,000.
Yeah. And that was very disappointing. Very.
And it's kind of spooky,
and it was
too.
Big, you know.
The Crabbs' problems got worse. After paying off debts and other expenses, they had only $20,000 left.
It was devastating, really, because, I mean, we had planned on, like I told you, to take a cruise, to go. He was going to buy a motorhome, he was going to do sightseeing, do some repairs on the house.
And now we're unemployed with about $20K.
Regrettably, the Crabbs are not unusual. Regrettably, one of the most common things that people do out of their 401k plans is they take a lump sum distribution, they take it into income, they get hit with penalties, and they spend it quickly.
What kind of strategy should the Crabbs have followed?
Number one, the Crabbs should have taken the distribution and immediately rolled it over into an individual retirement account, so there would not have been immediate taxes and there would not have been any penalties at all.
Just about everyone looks at that lump sum and considers, however briefly, taking the money and running. Unfortunately, for just about everyone, that's not the right decision, and it's far more sensible to reinvest the money so that it can continue to bring you earnings during your retirement.
See what that is.
With their savings all but gone, both the Crabbs had to go back to work. Winston is now 68.
You start thinking about, boy, did I do something wrong here somewhere, you know? Because I'm going to have to do the same thing I would have done at 40, go back to work.
If you were the Crabbs or anybody else and you had a retirement checklist, can you tick off the key things on a retirement checklist?
The key questions on a retirement checklist start with, how much will my Social Security benefit be? How much bigger would it be by waiting? The second, will I have health insurance? From where? How much is it going to cost me? The third checklist item is, how much income will my savings produce on top of Social Security? The fourth checklist item is, what are my expenses likely to be now and in the future? Can I really afford to retire?
I don't know where you got that figure.
You told me.
Not 18.
Still looking for the day when they can afford to retire, the Crabbs offer a cautionary word about the need to plan carefully.
I couldn't stress to anyone how important it is to sit down and take it very seriously, because it is. And as you get older, it gets more serious.